Hi, it's Becca from Blooming Acres Sewing Studio located in Mount Vernon, Iowa. This afternoon I'm going to give you a little demonstration on how to set your pattern for the next placement on your longarm machine. I am on my Nolting using Quiltmagine software. If you have QCT or QuiltPath, I believe that the steps are fairly similar. I do center placement, but it would be the same thing if you did 4-point placement. You would just be placing it 4 times instead of just the center placement. So my row is over and I want to advance my quilt to the next zone. So I'm going to come over here. I know it's kind of somewhere in here where it's going to want me to mark. I'm going to click Mark Zone. And it's asking me if I've completed this sewing zone. Yes. Then it's going to want me to make sure that my needle is up. And it's marking the center of the beginning of the next zone. So I like to use like garage sale stickers. There are different options for marking your zone. You can actually put a little stitch in. On the left-hand side is a button with different marking methods. I just use the single stitch. So I'm putting it right there. I'm going to hit that. It's going to put a hole in my sticker. I'm going to put my needle back up and tell it, yes, I marked it. And now it's going to tell me that the machine is going to move where the marker should be for the next zone. And next it's going to move to the spot where that should be. So now I'm going to advance my fabric up to that area and get it as close as I can. So we're going to do that next. You definitely want to make sure that your sticker stays where it is. Occasionally I've had to move. Okay, and I'm actually going to set it right here. I believe it will be not far enough yet, but this is going to give you an example of what you'll need to do if it shows up red that you're not in the safe zone. This is also when, if you don't have enough room for the back bar, where you would move that up. Okay, so it's now saying to move the fabric. I did that. I'm going to say I'm going to put it here and we're going to see what happens. So I'm going to say, okay. Yes, I've moved the fabric. And so you actually still need to place the pattern for sewing. So this is where you either do center placement or you do 4-point placement at this step. And so you actually need to bring the machine to wherever that dot is, your mark, and you need to place the pattern. So just advancing it puts it in the right area, but it doesn't actually place the pattern. Okay, perfect. So it's red. It's telling me that I am out of my safe zone. So it just means that I didn't advance the fabric far enough. So I'm going to come back over here. Okay. And then I'm going to move back. And then it turns white. So it's telling me now that I have enough area in the safe zone for it to stitch out. So that's basically how you move your pattern and advance it to the next zone. Again, I just want to reinforce, when the machine moves this way and stops, you still have to actually place the pattern And that's when you're hitting this button, whether it's center point placement or 4-point placement, you still need to do that. And that should get your pattern perfectly lined up. So thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you again soon.